Amidst this immense outrage against Indian government's decision to conduct NEET and JEE exams at exam centers, I think we need to have a microscopic view of this issue, the impact of COVID-19 on education system and industrial work. The arrival of COVID has forced us to lock inside our houses, which in turn led the way for the virtual mediums like Zoom, Google Meets, Microsoft Teams in a big way. Some of the most prolific news agencies like Harvard Business Review, BBC, Forbes, they have discussed its impact on two of these sectors and the repercussions of it in a pretty substantial way. All of them have batted in favor of this new normal, obviously, because we don't have any alternatives here. Forbes, interestingly, even went ahead to argue that the virtual system is going to boost the education efficiency in a big way. But the parameter to decide the improvement of a student is just the grade secured. It does not deal with the emotional intelligence of the student. You see, the concept of a school is to meet with someone your age, interact with them, learn from them, and learn from them even without trying to learn. The best result of a school comes not from inside the classroom with the teacher in it, but it comes from the playground, where there are no rules, where there are no restrictions, where you could fight with your classmates, patch things up on your own, learn from a mistake, and move on. Before we go ahead and discuss the impact of COVID-19 on industrial works, let's just discuss the employees as humans. We humans have an innate need to belong to one another, to our friends, families, to our culture, and obviously to our country. The same is true when we are at work. When people feel they belong at work, they are more productive, obviously, motivated, engaged, and as per Harvard Business Review, 3.5% more likely to contribute to their fullest potential. This sense of belonging at work has a lot to do with your co-worker for the sense of inclusion. In fact, majority, about 65% of the individual look at workplace as the place they feel the greatest sense of belonging just after their homes, keeping even neighborhood communities and place of worship. But virtual work hasn't been as efficient as it was expected, and many are explaining it as something that would get better with time, but on the contrary, it is going to go down. Why? Because as of now, we are working with someone we already know from the office. We are aware of the person we are interacting with. We know how they are, how we should interact with. In the coming times, when new hiring starts, the connect can never be as strong as it might have happened face to face in the office. It could give rise to the exclusion, and which in turn would drastically affect the work. Another factor which would contribute to the rise of exclusion is the lack of time spent during coffee breaks, lunch breaks that employees used to spend when they are at office. So this is going to increase the exclusionism immensely. So the bottom line is that the status of the virtual medium is far from perfect unless it's dealt with to handle all its underlying complications. It just can't replace the conventional system entirely at the moment. And looking at the technology responsible for the virtual connection to happen or to function properly, there is a long list of prerequisites to satisfy: electricity, Wi-Fi, and a properly functioning server, which forces us not to be too optimistic about the virtual medium at the moment.